I am deaf in one ear, and they kind of said, you could never be a musician. And darn it, I was too stubborn to listen to them, so I became a musician because they said I couldn't do it. Your teachers become your greatest influence. And I wanted to be that mentor to up-and-coming young musicians, help them become musicians, but also help them become better human beings. These young musicians that I've worked with over the years, being in band has been their thing, their group, their hangout. It's just quite an honor to witness how they go from those beginning levels all the way through where music becomes such a major part of their lives.
Jim Barnes was my band director all the way back starting in probably 6th grade. Had my favorite class. I always looked forward to going to his classes. Always had a lot of fun, even when I drove him crazy.
Started out with trombone. I was not good at trombone, but that didn't stop him from caring and supporting me.
His impact on the community is huge and has touched the lives of literally thousands of students and people in the community.
He wasn't just a teacher, he pushed all of us and truly cared about every student, even if you weren't the best musician.
Those were not just your students, they were your kids. My son's a band director now, and I go up there and they call me Grandpa. When it came time to retire from teaching, it all aligned, it all worked out so that when I turned 55, I was able to submit my papers in and start a new chapter. I started doing a Germantown community band that would be an incoming freshman to people in their 80s.
He really built a community band from nothing up into a self-supporting organization.
And of course, once you start a community band, then you start a jazz band. Then once you start a jazz band, you take up accordion and you start a polka band. Once you have a polka band, you take up banjo and you start a Dixieland band. My wife says if I take bagpipes, I gotta leave the house. Before I knew it, I was in 6 different groups, so I was actually busier retired than I was when I was working at the high school. My life goal, even after I started teaching, was to find a community like Germantown. I came here in '87, and I've never left. Got everything that a man could want. I got more than I could ask for. I like that, yeah, that works for me. Kind of reliving my rock and roll days with a new group called OTR. OTR came into being during the pandemic. The schools were shut down, all of the musical groups that I was in charge of, they shut down, and we were all basically isolated in our basements, bored to death, and we were not making music together. I got together with a few people that I knew from the community band, and I said, why don't we go to the pavilion and sit 20 feet apart and play music? We got these 6 people together, and it was kind of magical. It was so good to make music again after being isolated in your basements for so long.
Jim is our leader. He likes to think he's our equal, but he does a lot more than the rest of us do in terms of responsibility and organization and putting the time in.
It's really a good sounding band, and Jim is at the forefront.
Sometimes I feel like I'm back in high school, and I have my director talking to me and giving me tips and talking about the form and the structure. So that's kind of fun too. It kind of brings me back down memory lane.
It's a great thing. It's a great outlet for me, especially. I do sit in my office all day, conference calls, and I get to kind of live out those childhood fantasies of standing on stage and playing my guitar.
We've got several different individual personalities, and he lets all of us shine.
They're my group of friends now. They're my squad, my clique, my hangout people now. Music binds us together. No matter what kind of group you have, whether it's a Dixieland group or a high school band or a rock band, it's a family.
At the time that I, a couple of years ago, got exposed to the band, I was dating the bass player.
I got married a few weeks ago, and everyone in the band came to my wedding, and because they're my friends. So that's an important part for me as well.
One of the greatest things that I can do is to find that 40 or 50-year-old adult who put that saxophone in a closet, was gathering dust for 20, 30 years, And now they can get it out and find that magic, that sense of belonging, making music once again.